Tutankhamun's Last Journey. Written by Patricia Cleveland Peck, illustrated by Evelt Yannet. I want to tell you about the most frightening thing I have ever done. Something I had to do on the day of our beloved King Tutankhamun's funeral. I am Maya. I grew up in the palace because my grandmother was nursemaid to the pharaoh, Tutankhamun. Although he was the ruler of Egypt and one of the most important people in Africa, he always found time to talk to me. When I was little, he once told me, the two people I loved most were my grandmother, the great Queen Tai, and your grandmother, my nurse. I suppose that makes you almost my little sister. When Tutankhamun suddenly died, my throat hurt from trying not to cry. Yes, I knew he was going to the afterlife where he'd be happy, but I still missed him. His body was washed in water from the River Nile and preserved as a mummy in reams of cloth, so he would always look his best. The preparations for his funeral began. I saw the servants collecting things, thousands of things, to take to his tomb in the Valley of the Kings, far away from the ancient pyramids in the north. They were packing everything he could possibly need for his final journey. But something very important had been forgotten. I wanted to tell the Queen, but she was so upset I couldn't bring myself to approach her. I tried telling I, who was in charge of the funeral, but he paid no attention to me. You probably want to know what this important thing was. It was an amulet containing a lock of red hair that had belonged to Tutankhamun's grandmother, Queen Tai. I knew the best person to guide him to the afterlife would be his powerful grandmother. I knew that, if Tutankhamun had a lock of his grandmother's hair, that she could be with him on the journey. You see, in the afterlife, the things you take with you become real. I had to get it to him. But the funeral procession had set off. There was nothing for it. I knew I had to take it myself. But how could I get into the tomb? Only members of the royal family could follow a pharaoh's funeral procession. The procession would soon pass me. I could hear it getting nearer. The slow beating of the approaching drum sent a shiver up my spine. I could hear the cries of the women paid to mourn. I needed to think fast. Then the gods sent me an idea. If I were caught, it would mean terrible trouble, but it was worth a try. So, as they drew level, I slipped in amongst the wailing women. When we got to the tomb, it was icy cold. From the entrance, I could see lights flickering over strange hieroglyphics and shadowy figures moving about. A priest was reading from a papyrus. My heart was thumping. I felt like running away, but forced myself to creep nearer. I hid when they brought in King Tutankhamun's mummy. I could barely make myself look. I could hardly breathe. But when I saw how beautiful he looked wearing his golden mask, I wasn't frightened anymore. I darted forward and placed my bundle amongst the other goods. Out in the open air again, I took a deep breath. I had done it. Now I knew Tutankhamun would have his beloved grandmother with him on his journey to the afterlife. Although I will always miss him, I know he will be happy.